Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to walk through a process of installing Telegraf on Ubuntu and configure it to write data to Influx. But before we dive into this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification to stay up to date with our latest tutorials. So, Telegraf. It is a server-based agent that collects and sends metrics and events from database systems and IoT sensors. It is written in Go language and compiled into a single binary with no external dependency requiring. From the structure itself, we have these components. Source system, basically any system which is supported by input plugins. Metric store place, it is system supported by output plugins like database, etc. And in the middle we have Telegraf, which have this plugin, so input plugin. So the input plugin, it collects metrics from system services and third-party APIs. We have optional plugins, processor plugin to process metrics as they pass through the immediately emit results based on the values we process. For example, this could be printing all metrics or adding a tag to all metrics that pass through. Aggregator, that's also optional plugin, which is typically for emitting new aggregate metrics, such as running mean, maximum, minimum, or standard deviation. And we have output plugin, which is defined where Telegraf will deliver the collected data. Full list of plugins we could find at this page. I will add link in description. So on this page you could look to this input, out, aggregators and filter, and you will see a quite huge number of them. So we can take a look to this and decide which ones you want for what collecting data. For our example, we need any system, so we are going to use the same server where we have installed InfluxDB last time. If you missed that video, you could watch this on this link. Also, we will need internet connection from binaries download and place where we want to save our collected data. For this we also will use the InfluxDB from the last time. If you have already, then let's start installation. We will install Telegraf through apt-get package management tool. For this, if you have not yet done, we need to add influx repo. If you're done, you could skip. If you have not done, then on this link you could find steps to add it. Yeah, and you just simply need to, if it's Debian or Ubuntu, you just simply need to run these 3 lines. As I'm already installing on the server which we installed Influx last time, so all this already done. So I will go to the next step. What do you do? Sudo apt-get install and Telegraf. It will take a couple of seconds. And here we go, we have installed, so we could verify. So the systemctl status Telegraf. Here we go. So we have installed Telegraf. Now let's get config file. For basic configuration, I'll use influx suggested config with small changes. So for this, I go to influx page, which is in our case running on 127.0.0.1 and port 8087 and HTTPS. So I'll do login. So after login, let's do a following. Let's create bucket. So I'll create system, for example, where we'll keep data for 90 days. Then I go to Telegraf and the create configuration. So I'll select bucket system And you could see also here a lot of plugins which we have. So for my example, I use some basic also system plugin. So I select one and then continue. So it asks some name. Actually, it doesn't matter. We later will not use that anyway. And we'll do save and test. It generates for us token and the config file, which we're going to use. Just we will not use the remote, and we simply would download that to the server side. So let's go back to the server. And here we'll go to etc telegraf.t. Here currently we have nothing. So what we'll do, we'll download that config file. So I'll use curl and secure, and we'll put output here. So it will be systemconf. We need to authenticate, so I'll use the same token which Influx generated. So we say authorization token, and we'll here we're back to the browser to take a token. So this is a token what it was created. We copy it back to the server, and we're pasting here. And we also will copy the location of config file. So from a browser, we take this link from here and back to the server. Let's paste it here. And here we go. So we got config file loaded. Let's check it and do small configuration changes. There are many options here already filled, so I will keep them as it is. Of course, for production and your requirements, it might be needed to change something. But more interesting for me, it's this part, so I'll make token name with other one. So we'll add system just to be not on the default name. And as I am using self-signed certificate, I will put insecure and true. If you have CS certificate, you need to change these lines. Let's save it. We have config file here. Let's also add token now. For this we will do on Telegraf environment file, which we could find on DC default and Telegraf. Currently it's empty, so what we'll do, we'll add here influx token system. It's that name what we used on config file, and do equal, and we'll copy again token from a browser. So that's this part. Back to a server and pasting here. Let's save it. Once we're done, just let's restart the Telegraf. So we do with sudo system ctl. We'll do stop Telegraf and then start. And let's check status. Okay, it's up and running. So let's back now to Influx to verify the data. I just click here finish, and if you go to the buckets and system which we created, we already see that the data is starting to come. So standard measurements what it was collecting. So for example, CPU, let's say usage. If I do submit, we see already some data here. We also could check something with, let's say, memory. For example, 3. We could submit it, maybe switch to a graph, and you see it's coming. So let me make 5 minutes. So if I clicking, the Telegraf, it collects and updates that to Influx. You see that data is coming. In this video, we explored the fundamentals of the Influx Telegraf, learned about the components and walked through the installation process. Remember to explore more plugins and customize your setup based on your specific use case. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Happy monitoring and see you next time.